D15 Part 3. I'm talking up close because there's a little bit of construction going on outside, so hopefully it doesn't distract the video. I included in this newsletter a video to a YouTube link. I encourage you to watch it. It gets a little bit sciencey, but you'll get the idea. The bottom line is they talk a lot about innate immunity, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. It's super important that you understand, and you're going to realize how important all these other videos have been and other seminars in the past. You're going to be amazed. And more importantly, or as important, is this concept of heat and cold. So remember, we talked about yesterday about the benefits of fever. Please go back. It's the first thing I talked about in the video. The benefits of fever, about letting your body use its immune system. Well, similarly, through the hormetic response, when you get into sauna, when you get into cold, we see that there seems to be this amazing benefit on the immune system. That is why if you go back in my YouTube channel, you'll see me doing many videos at the banya, 215, 220 degree room, and you'll see me talking in the cold plunge. This is something that I practice actively all year round. When the banya is closed, I do a lot of extra cold shower work in the morning, which, as you guys know, if you've been following meditations, that's how we finish. We finish with the cold shower. Why am I saying this? Because, guys, I'm not afraid to say this boldly. I mean, imagine, what kind of balls do I have to do these videos going back 3 weeks, basically saying to all you guys, look, there's going to be some of you that are going to just get a common cough and some little bit of symptoms, and some of you that are going to wind up in the hospital. I'm 44 years old and I'm a man, so it's not like I am a 13-year-old female, right? Men are 70% more likely to die from this, and I am no spring chicken anymore. Think about the balls that I have to come out and basically be teaching you guys this when I am certainly one of those people that could wind up in a hospital. The reason why I have those kind of balls is because I know something, and I'm trying to teach you guys what I know. And I'll continue to teach it every time some kind of catastrophic flu, virus, bacteria rolls around. So hopefully I have your attention, because if you watch that video and when they start talking about innate immunity, I'm going to teach you what we've already talked about. I'm going to also continue to explain to you guys that things like the banya, the cold therapy, that I make a practice of doing every week and have invited many of you to do with me. When we do these things, we know we are bolstering our immune system. I know that when I sit in front of that red light and do the breathing exercise, I know what's happening there, and I've invited you guys to look at that research for yourself. However, let's take a closer look at the innate immune system, and then I'm going to share with you guys some things that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about. However, I did pull up some research, old research, and I wonder if they're going to start talking about this anytime soon. I'm going to guess no, and I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. But check this out. What is the innate immune system? First, we could start with just the physical barriers of your body. So obviously your skin. Okay, so your skin helps protect you from pathogens, obviously. That's why the whole idea of, washing hands and not having open wounds and things of this nature, this is an important part of your immune system. But check this out. What have we talked so much about? Your gastrointestinal tract. What did I say going back lectures ago? We did a whole lecture talking about your gastrointestinal tract. If it's compromised, we know that this can lead to a lot of bad things. Well, guys, it's also part of your immune system. How does it get compromised? Well, it can certainly get compromised through abuse of antibiotics, abuse of certain foods, abuse of NSAIDs, which are ibuprofen and other pharmaceutical medications. I'm not going to go back into it. You can go back and listen to the video yourself. It is part of your innate immune system. So listen, when you listen to this video, you'll hear this person, this doctor, talking about there seems to be people that are compromised with their innate immune system. And you're going, what the heck? Gosh, that person must have cancer. No, You all have innate immune systems, and I am trying to show all of you how many of you do have compromised innate immune systems, and that's why we're dying. Literally, this is literally why we're dying. So we're going, well, how is it possible that a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 25-year-old is having the symptoms that they're having? I thought this only affects old people. It has to do with your innate immune system. Do I have your attention? Good. Let me continue. So we know, what do we know today? Check out how many people have gastrointestinal problems. Look at how many people have problems with just their skin. Just their skin. Again, go back and listen to the videos that I did on supplementation and what's important for really healthy skin. And of course, we're getting to it in a minute, but we'll get when we start talking about your stomach acid, bile, all that stuff, those fat-soluble vitamins. I promise you, it has a lot to do with having healthy skin. So with bad skin, bad gastrointestinal tracts, bad respiratory tracts, the nasopharynx, cilia, which are little hairs basically that keep shit out of your body that's not supposed to be there. These three things right here, respiratory tract, your nasopharynx. Remember, I talked a lot about your parasinuses, and I'm going to get to an important couple of organs that are back there that really, really need to be talked about later on. But what are we doing each morning? We're practicing some respiratory breathing through your nose. Guys, breathing through your mouth is a bad idea. Why? Because it cools the mouth and it makes the mouth less moist. It also sabotages the nitric oxide from your body that you should be getting mostly through your nose. And again, it's a huge part of your immune system, keeping this whole area healthy. How do we keep it healthy? Keep your mouth closed. When you sleep and when you walk around, make sure you keep your mouth closed and you're breathing through your nose. How should we be breathing? Deep, silent, slow, long exhale breaths. For the most part, that's how we should be breathing, into our diaphragm. Again, go back, listen to the videos on that. Then we have our fluid defense system. I didn't know how else to put it other than fluid defense. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, we have mucus, we have bile, we have stomach acid, we have saliva, we have tears, and we have sweat. Well, guys, if we really want these things to be optimized, let's just pay attention real quick to bile, gastric acid, saliva. Those things we've talked about a lot. We talked about how having really good digestion means that you're going to have a lot of saliva, quality saliva in your mouth. How do you have good quality saliva in your mouth? Again, keep your mouth shut. You'll notice that if you're chewing slowly and keeping food in your mouth a long time, you build up good quality saliva. Why is that important? Because we know that we get a lot of digestive enzymes into the mouth when we chew more slowly. We also know that when we breathe with our mouth closed, we get a lot more saliva and moisture in our mouth. How do we get quality bile? We have really healthy livers. The bile goes into the gallbladder, goes from the liver to the gallbladder and into the duodenum, which is part of your small intestine. How many gallbladders are removed in this country a year? I already told you, between 700,000 and 1 million gallbladders. What's the quality of that bile? Guys, it's part of your innate immune system. Why? Because bile gets rid of a lot of toxins in the body. So does gastric acid. So does stomach acid. When you swallow things, the acid in your stomach should be what? It should be really acidic and there should be a lot of it, and it kills pathogens. That's one of your first lines of defense. Same thing with mucus. Again, if a lot of you are like, well, I have plenty of mucus. Guys, that is your body overreacting to how much shit is in your body. Okay, there should be an adequate amount of mucus. And by the way, how are people actually dying of COVID-19? It's the overreaction of the immune system. That's how they're dying. It's your body overreacting to it. So when you're going, I got plenty of mucus, I don't have a problem there. Wrong, you got a big problem. Your body's actually overreacting to a problem that you're not addressing. But the mucus is there for a reason, okay? Similarly, tears. What did we talk about with the eyes and how important the eyes are? Moisture in the eyes. There are vitamins and minerals that are imperative to keeping eye moisture. And obviously, sweat, right? So when we get when we're exercising and whatnot, this is all part of helping things get out of the body that shouldn't be there. That's why things like sauna work and exercise and sweating in general is great for your innate immune system. It helps get rid of things that the body doesn't want in there. So that's all of your fluid defense. Then we have our general immune response. And guys, this one's big, but let me make it real simple. Inflammation, okay, is something that we talk a lot about in seminars. We talk about the different types of inflammation. But what is happening there is your body is saying, there's an emergency. We've got to send stuff. What do we need to send? Blood flow, baby. We got to send blood there, right? How do we do it? We're going to raise the heart rate. We're going to raise the body temperature. We may raise respiration. You get it? Your body's really smart. So what do? We start giving, all kinds of aspirin, ibuprofen, fever reducers, and we start doing all types of things to actually reverse what the body's trying to fight. Again, if you go back, don't just listen to me, listen to all the research now about why ibuprofen and aspirin seems to be such a big problem in a virus that actually isn't causing severe high temperatures in most people. This is a tolerable fever that people can be experiencing, and right now all of the research is pointing to let the fever run. But guys, I've been saying that for 20 years. Okay, if you have a fever that you can handle, let the immune system do its job. How do you get an immune system? You let the immune system work. You let it do what it's supposed to do. Obviously, if you have a temperature of 104, you can't go that high, but you understand what I'm saying. This is why researching, knowing, and understanding really matters. Okay, you have to recognize what the body's doing and is it tolerable, and what do I get out of it at the end? And as a general rule of thumb, let the body fight what it's fighting, and you'll get much, much better at it the next time. So that's your innate immune system. And I just want you to recognize how many problems there are in the average person in their innate immune system. So when you hear people with problems with innate immune systems are dying more often, I'm not done yet. Hold on. I got a whole other part here that nobody else is talking about. But just recognize we have skin problems. We have intestinal problems. We have upper respiratory problems in general. We're mouth breathers. We don't chew our food very well. We have issues digesting, right? We have issues with stomach acid. We have issues with bile. We have issues with mucus in the wrong direction. We have issues with our eyes, and we don't move enough to sweat. And you get the idea. And then, of course, we have all this other inflammation in our body because we have these comorbidities that you're hearing about, right? This metabolic syndrome causes inflammation. And then when we actually do get sick, when a pathogen actually does enter us, it raises blood flow even more. It raises heart rate even more. It raises blood pressure even more. It raises temperature. It raises respiration. These are all checks that your body can't cash eventually. It's the overstimulation of the whole system is what's killing people. But here's the deal. You know what people aren't talking about? You know what nobody's talking about? And I have a prediction why. Nobody's talking about the role of tonsils. Nobody's talking about the role of the spleen. Nobody's talking about the role of the appendix. Nobody's talking about the role of the gallbladder in this disease. I want to know, of all these young people that seem to be dying, okay? So curious. These young kids in America, what's going on that it's so unusual for a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old? I really want to know. Did they have their tonsils removed? How many people that are dying under 60 had a spleen removed or an appendix removed or a gallbladder removed? Why do I say that? Well, do your research on what the tonsils do. It is a major, major part in helping the body create antibodies. What else? What does the spleen do? Guys, the spleen is a huge defense system for pathogens in the body. Okay, when you have a spleen removed, you're making your liver do most of the work. And what do we already know about the liver? It's already overworked. That's why the average person has fatty liver disease. But its role in the immune system is critical for pathogens. Similar to the appendix, right now, there is a lot of research that's showing that the appendix has an important role in helping the healthy bacteria in your gut. What did we just say about the gastrointestinal tract and its role in the innate immune system and how poor people's digestive tracts are with IBS, Crohn's, this and that. It's part of your innate immune system. And finally, the gallbladder. Again, the gallbladder doesn't just, it secretes bile, but the bile is critical not just to emulsify fats, as we talked about, and all those fat-soluble vitamins, which you really, 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 really need for a really strong immune system, but it also helps get rid of things in the body that are toxic. Guys, nobody's talking about this. You know why? I have a prediction why you're not hearing this in the news. You want to know why? I'm going to show you why. It's called big money, baby. These are for surgeons, simple surgeries. And look at how much it costs to remove tonsils. Look at how much it costs to remove a gallbladder, an appendix. Guys, big money, but nobody's talking about it. Guys, look at the role right here of what these things do. Look it up yourself and help me figure out why the hell is nobody talking about any of this. But hopefully that research comes out and we'll see who's actually succumbing to these things. What did I say from day one? Day one was my goal is you got to have healthy digestion, healthy organs. Healthy digestion, healthy organs. How do we do that? Well, hopefully you guys get the idea that I've been trying to lead you down a path through 3 different videos every day. Hopefully that got your attention. Please share. Give me a thumbs up. You want a muscle? Nah, I got a sweatshirt on. All right, you guys, have a good day.